Today on VIP TV, a fighter who's certainly not had a lot of luck in the last couple of months going by the fight he had. We welcome Jez Smith. How you doing, Jez?
I'm all good, mate. How are you?
Yeah, I'm well. Without looking back too much, how have things been since the Lejarraga, shall we say, defeat? Because it must have left quite a bit of taste what went down in that fight. I think everyone saw it, watched it on the zone here. Social media went mad that night over it. It doesn't ease the blow for you, but how have you got over that?
Yeah, I'm all right. I took a little bit of time away from the gym because obviously I had a long camp. I'm back in the gym now. For me, it was, you know what, I could sit here constantly and keep going over it and over it, and it's not going to change the result. Everyone see it. Everyone see what happened. So I've just got myself straight back in the gym. Got to be professional about it. Keep my focus on what I'm doing. I'm progressing through my career because I think everyone can see with each performance I'm getting better and better. So yeah, just dust myself off and go again. It's one of them ones. Don't get me wrong, I'm gutted about the whole thing, but because I was on the verge. I truly believe I was on the verge of probably the biggest win of my career. And probably could have changed a lot for me, but we stay focused, we stay professional about it, and we just continue on this journey.
I mean, in a perverse sort of way, has it helped your profile? You had the Ben Ridings win, and then that, and has it helped people know you even more, even though what went down over there, the controversy?
Yeah, probably. I think I'm maturing into a better fighter, and I think you can see that throughout my performances. I'm progressing, I'm getting better, and I think people can see that. So hopefully, I think with me that everyone knows I'm always going to be an exciting fighter. I'm one of them fighters. I always come to win. I believe, and I truly believe I am good enough to mix with these sort of fighters, and I think I proved that in my last contest. A lot of people said to me, step too far, former European champion, ranked 10th in the world. But, I know what I've been working on in the gym with my trainer, Josh, and I see little faults in him. So I just, what's happened there? Sorry, mate.
I can hear you still. I can see you.
Can you see me?
Yeah, can you see me?
No, I can't see you.
Yeah, I can see you clearly.
There it is. So yeah, I know what I've been working on, and I know I can mix with these sort of fighters. So just want to keep pushing on, and hopefully Eddie can stick to his word and get me some fights. And I don't know what's going to go on with the rematch. So yeah, just keep progressing. That's what I want to do. You know what I mean?
I mean, you've learned the hard way, haven't you? I mean, you've had 15 fights. You got 12. Is it 12, 3-1? You've mixed it in very good company. We go back to the McCauley-McGowan draw, and that was one of the best 8-rounders. Not just saying as I'm speaking to you, I was there fortunate enough to be working that for Box Nation that night, and it was one of the best 8-rounders in Britain in the last decade, I should think. So what I'm saying, you've learned the hard way, haven't you?
Yeah, for sure. And as well with me, throughout, everyone can see through my career, I've not chosen my fights. Like, I've always taken risks, taken opportunities when I can get them, and that's what I'm all about. I believe I've learnt my trade through the early bits, and then fighting a journeyman my first 4 or 5 fights, and then obviously you see after my 6th fight or something like that, I got chucked in the deep end against McGowan, who was unbeaten at the time, and and through then, don't get me wrong, you do learn a lot when you fight the journeyman early on in your career, which you need. But I don't want to be one of them fighters where I'm just stepping back, fighting people like that, picking my opponent. I want to be an exciting fight, and I want to give the public value for their money, and I just love fighting, me, like, I just love fighting. I want to be in these good fights. I believe I can mix with these sort of fighters, and I believe that I can beat them as well. I do, and I will be gutted if I end up leaving my career not winning something, because I believe I'm getting better, and hopefully I'll get more opportunities, and start winning some more fights.
I mean, you take risks as well. Like, you're a super welter. You was a welterweight, not so long ago. So I guess you're still developing into a solid super welter. I mean, you'll be able to answer that. But, you take gambles, don't you? I'm thinking of Aguiarco, who's a lump at middleweight.
Yeah. I took that fight on short notice as well. And I believe that I should, in that fight, I know I got stopped in the 9th round, but if you speak to a lot of people, I don't know if you see it yourself, but up to 6 or 7 rounds, I was in that fight, really competitive into that fight. So, and then obviously, I think it proved that I wasn't a middleweight in the later rounds, and I sat there a little bit too much and probably got caught with shots I shouldn't have got caught with, because obviously, he was the bigger man and he could whack a little bit. So that's why I chose, it was the best right thing for me to do, to drop back down to super welter, where obviously I believe that's the sort of weight is perfect for me now.
Yeah, I mean, it's some great fights in there. I mean, if you look at all of you in that division, you're up there. You're not far from the British title picture. Let's put it that way. I mean, you might need a couple more wins, but you look at the guys like Cheeseman, Fitzgerald. I mean, not including Liam Smith, because he's still looking for a world shot. Fitzgerald, Fowler, Bradley Skeet's coming back. So
yeah, I see that. I do see that. Yeah, I did. Like I said, I've said in numerous interviews, like, I respect all these fighters. I respect any fighter, but these are the fights I want. These are the fights I want to be in. So, I'll be happy to rumble with any single one of them.
Have you ever said no to a fight when Mo Pryor has rang you up and said, I've got this fight, this is how much? Have you ever said, well, no, the money's not right? Or you just said, yes, how much?
Just yes, how much? That's what it is with me, What's the money saying? And that's about it. I just love fighting, Steve, you know what I mean? And I'm one of them fighters, though. I'm not delusional. Like, I know my level. So if I got offered something that was probably a lot out of my range, then obviously I know I've got to pull myself back a little bit. But I truly believe I can mix with these fighters. That's why I took the Lejarraga or Kerman, whatever his name is.
Call him Kerman.
Yeah, that's why I took that fight, because I believe I could beat him. And, everyone that see it on that night, I was proving everyone, I was proving everyone wrong, because a lot of people thought I was out of my depth. And I proved that I can mix with these sort of fighters. And I truly believed I was robbed that night massively. I really do,
Mo Pryor still manages you, doesn't he?
Yes, he does, yeah.
You must be the easiest fighter he's got to manage. It's just the way you just say yes to everything.
That's it, Mo knows I'm easy. Just tell me how much and who and where and let's go,
Has Eddie given you an indication of there might be something for you? Because he was in Spain. I guess he saw you afterwards. And
yeah, he said to me after, he said, I'll definitely be back. So I'm hoping, obviously, my next fight will be on one of his shows, and they can give me an opponent soon. The main thing for me is to stay focused and stay in the gym, because I don't want to be like when I boxed Ben Ridings, I took that fight on 4 days notice or 5 days, something ridiculous. And I was up at super middleweight and I had to lose 6 kilos in the bubble that week just to make super middleweight. So I was well over my weight limit. So for me now, it's about keeping my weight down, keeping focused in the gym, because you just don't know when you're going to get that call. You could get a call on 1 week's notice. You could get 6 weeks notice. At the end of the day, Matchroom don't owe me anything, because they don't, they don't promote me and things like that. So you just got to be ready for that call to come and say, are you ready to fight next week or 2 weeks time? This is your opportunity. Let's go. I don't want to be, I don't want to get that call and then be like, oh, I've got 10 kilos to lose.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And then they're not putting a performance, that I can show, because obviously coming off my back of my last performance now, I've proved to people that I belong at that level.
Yeah.
So I don't want to then take a fight and not be ready and then look terrible. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. So, how do you manage to do it? You know, keep the weight down. So I think you work in the day, don't you? You got a family. And you go to the gym at night. How do you manage to do it? Keep the weight down when you're on the site in the day, and you know everyone's having a sandwich. Or how do you manage to keep that discipline, especially if the phone's not ringing and you're going to the gym every night? Then maybe you're coming home just in time for the kids to go to bed, and then having to see them for 20 minutes in the morning before you go off.
You know what? I'm quite lucky, really. Recently, in my just after his last fight, have you heard of Dice Meal Prep? They've kind of jumped on board and helped me.
I think I've seen the name. Yeah, I've seen the name on social. Yeah,
with meal preps and jumped on board, and so it's easier now for me to do my food. I haven't got to prep it all the night before. Well, not that I was doing it. A big. For me, it was my missus doing everything. So I'm lucky really to have her that she was prepping all my meals and that before. So, but now I've got Dice Meal Prep on board. They're helping me maintain my weight and not go up too heavy. And obviously staying in the gym, coming back from work and going straight to the gym is what I do. That's why I said to you, we was meant to do this interview at 8 o'clock the other day. That's a bit late for me normally. I'm normally going to bed. I was starting to unwind and go to bed at that time. So, because obviously, not being a full-time professional, I get up in the morning early. I'm on the roof. I'm on at 8 o'clock. I'm working all day. Then I'm going to the gym. By the time I get home in the evening, I'm absolutely shattered. So for me, it's about having that rest and going again. And at the moment, because I'm ticking over, I'm only obviously just training in the evening. But obviously when I start stepping it up and I know I've got some fight news, then I try and get up in the morning, do my run, then go to work. So it gets even harder. I think, I have done it the hard way with everything. I'm not a full-time professional. So, and for not being a full-time professional, I'm not doing too bad, especially what I've done to, a world-ranked fighter the other day. He's 10th in the world. And if I'm honest, in my opinion, I think I made him look average.
Yeah, well, you did. You were look, what happened to you? There was a lot of people afterwards about not going to Spain again, weren't they? Boxers as well. I know Steve Goodwin was unhappy with stuff that happened there that night. But with yourself, just for people watching this, it has taken us about a week to get this interview, or more than that, I think, hasn't it? Because you've been busy with one thing and another. So it shows how busy you are. But going back, what does someone like, your wife there, she supports you. How does she feel? How do you, in her shoes, do you think when she sees you get calls at short notice to go away and lose all weight in a bubble, go to Spain and, get job like that, have to fight someone like a Yarko to earn a payday? How does she feel for you, do you think?
Yeah, she finds it hard. You know what it is? She's really, really supportive.
Yeah.
But she does say to me, obviously with the Ben Ridings one, she's always on my case about making sure my weight's down. I shouldn't be eating this and shouldn't be in that. I'm very lucky to have her. She's supportive to me all the time, with not just my boxing, with my work and everything. So yeah, I'm very grateful, and she does a lot for me.
Yeah, I mean, it just shows to show how hard it is. There'll be people who are maybe not hardcore boxing fans. The last year they've seen you on BT, Sky, and DAZN. They must probably think you walk around Harrow there with a wad of notes in your pocket every day, I should think, don't they, being on TV?
I tell you what, I think as obviously being involved in boxing, and I've got a lot of people that go to me, oh, you must make a fortune and things like that. And I'm thinking, no, it doesn't work like that. We don't make a fortune, not yet anyway. If we keep pushing and we keep learning and we keep improving and, get to these higher levels, then maybe in the future. But at the moment, it is tough. It's tough for us fighters, especially it's tough for me because I'm not a full-time pro. Like I say, I have to go to work and then I have to train. And, I am lucky sometimes that I do get a few sponsors that do help me out when I get a lot of notice on fights. So, with the Kerman fight, I was lucky enough to have 6 weeks away from work, which I got some sponsors that helped me and backed me for that time to have off work, which I am very lucky for.
Yeah. So how long before you think you'll be at your peak? As you say, you're not learning in the gym, you're learning in the ring and developing.
I still, you know, I truly believe that no one's seen the best of me yet. I haven't hit my highest best yet. You know, I'm only 27. I'm getting stronger. I'm getting, you know, I'm more focused than ever now. You know, I'm everything's going right for me at the moment in terms of not just boxing but my life as well. You know, everything around me is like my stability is good. So yeah, I'm in a good place at the moment, and as long as I keep working hard in the gym and keep focused, and you know, since I've teamed up with my new trainer Josh Burnham down at Jab, you know, he's got me back to my boxing, working behind my jab, and I think people can see that. And there's loads more to come from me, you know, as well. Like before, previous in my career, I was not doing like strength and conditioning and things like that, and I've got that on board. So yeah, I reckon, you know, I don't reckon you've seen the best of me yet. You know, I'm 27. Maybe by the time I'm 28, 29, I start even getting into my man strength to my 30. I think you'll see a lot more of me, and hopefully a lot more of me with either some belts or in some bigger fights or things like that. You know, fingers crossed. But it's all about working hard. That's what you've got to do. You just got to keep working hard and keep focused. And you know, I was never like that when in the first part of my career, which I've had to learn that way, you know, because obviously I never really took it seriously. And you know, you find your journey and you this, that, and the other, but you know, you can't be doing that, you know. And especially now when I'm in that stage of my career where I'm fighting good fighters, you'll end up getting yourself hurt otherwise. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. When did you start taking it serious from?
You know what? Probably since I've been since I've been with my new trainer in Jab, the last probably like
last year or so, isn't it?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So, and now I've been working with these lot. I've seen what you've got to do to if you want to reach that level. Do you know what I mean? And I've had some, you know, with my new trainer Josh, is that he used to be a professional boxer, and I boxed with him as an amateur as well. So we know each other really well, and we're not just you know, coach and fighter. You know, we've got a brotherly bond. You know, he's like family to me. So you know, I listen to everything he tells me, and I respect him an awful lot. And not that I didn't respect my other trainers, but I think I'm at that stage now in my life that I know how much this means to me, and I don't want to walk away from this sport, because I did walk away from it a little bit in the past, and I don't want to walk away from it not having won something or achieved something when I know I'm good enough to do that.
I mean, I'm sure you're going to get a chance at some sort of major title, British, European, whatever. I think the question is whether you get it at 8 weeks' notice or 8 days' notice, isn't it?
Yes, for sure. That's why, you know, that's what I was saying. I've got to make sure I maintain everything, you know, maintain my fitness, maintain my condition, and maintain my weight. So, because you never know when you're going to get that call. And especially, like, you know, like Eddie said in previous interviews before, obviously, I know we're all working on coming out of this pandemic now, hopefully. But at the start of it, he was always saying to these fighters, like on these small shows, stay ready, because you don't know when an opportunity is going to come. And you know, I was really lucky enough to get the opportunity with Ben Rydins, especially, you know, they didn't throw me in with someone who was like a former this, or do you know what I mean, like things like that. It was a for me, you know, as much as I know I was in the gym and I was overweight, for me, no disrespect to Ben Rydins, but if I couldn't do Ben Rydins, then I knew I wouldn't know where I was at. I might as well have knocked it on the head. And I'm not being disrespectful to him, because I'm respected as a fighter. But I knew my levels, and I knew I was levels above him. So when they gave me that opportunity to take down 4 days' notice, I knew that, especially in a 6-rounder, I knew I had the fitness, even if I was, because I wasn't trained, even if I was knackered after 3 or 4 rounds, I knew I had the jab behind me to make sure I win the contest. And, you know, I think you see in that fight, compared to the Kerman fight, that when Ben Rydins, I was just really popping the jab and making sure I, you know, won the rounds and the round. Yeah, so that's what I had to do. And you could see the difference in the condition between from when I was in the on the scales against Kerman and Ben Rydins. You can see the difference of not having a full camp or thingy. So I need to make sure now, like I said, is to stay ready and keep myself in good condition, which I have done.
And final question before you let you go. Of all your fights so far, it's 16 fights. What's been your favourite fight you've been involved in?
probably my last one, you know.
Really, yeah. Even though all the bitterness, the you know how angry you was at the end, yeah. Really.
As much as I was gutted, you know what? It was my performance. You know,
Yeah.
I'm getting better, and you know, don't get like I know from I think it was round 6 when I got dropped with a left hook to the body. I stopped using my jab, and for me, I've got a fantastic jab, so I need to use it more often because you know, then first 1 to 5 rounds, I was just picking him apart with my jab at times, you know, and then obviously the uppercut came, which was beautiful and obviously and worked. But it was just, I felt so good in there. That's why I was gutted about the whole outcome of what happened, because I know a few people said, oh yeah, it was inevitable. It was going to happen because Kerman was coming on strong and I fade, and people think I fade in all my fights in the later rounds. But I knew from that fight, the conditioning that my strength and conditioning coach and my trainer got me in for that fight was, I knew the rounds I was doing in the gym, and I knew that I had them later rounds in me. Yes, I got dropped in the 6th round, and yes, I was hurt, and I hold my hands up. But that 7th round, I was still throwing punches back.
That's the thing.
You know, I was probably losing the round, but I was still throwing it back, and I had to take that time to recover to get my second win to come again. You know, I didn't even get into my, you know, I didn't get out of really first gear. Like I was, you know, I was building into the fight nicely, I thought. So I knew I had to get my second wind to get past that body shot, and I knew I had it in me. So that's what I was gutted about, because for me, I was up a lot on the scorecard.
Yeah, you was, yeah.
You know, and there was 3 rounds to go, and there was no way I was gonna, you know, lose all 3 or get, but it wasn't gonna happen, you know. And that's the most bitter thing. I think that's the more thing I'm gutted about, is that yes, I'm gutted about the outcome because obviously it got stopped early, but I'm more about how other people were saying, you know what, he does fade and this and that. And I wanted to prove to people, as like I was proving in that fight, that I wasn't out of my depth, you know. And hopefully now people will start, when I say something, then I mean it, then maybe listen to me a little bit, you know, because a lot of people, I said it last time, I said, you know, I see faults in him that I can expose, and I did that. Do you know what I mean? So all I'm saying is just hopefully Eddie can give me something, or give me the rematch or anything like that. You know, I just want some more exciting fights. I love it.
I'm sure you're going to be in exciting fights. We've seen plenty of them already. You're only 16 fights in your career. Thanks for joining us today on VIP TV, Jez. I'm going to have to let you go now. It's 7:23 on my watch, and so it's 37 minutes before your bedtime, so I better let you go. See your missus and kids before you crash out.
Top man, Steve.
Thanks for your time. I really appreciate it.
You take it easy, mate. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. For all boxing info, news and latest interviews, amateur and pro, across the north, click and subscribe. VIP Boxing Promotions. Also, Twitter, Instagram and Facebook.